Hello everyone and welcome back to Magnolia Craft. I'm Megan and today we're going to be working on page 4 of the Cinnamon and Clove mini album. So we're going to be doing the back of the page we did last time. This one is also pretty quick. We're going to make a double pocket page. We're going to start out with a piece of black cardstock cut to 6 inches by 4 inches, which we'll score at the 1/2 inch mark, the 5.5 inch mark, and then we'll turn it and score at 3.5 inches. Then we'll take another piece of black cardstock cut to 6 by 6, scoring at 1/2 inch, 5.5 inches, and then again at 5.5 inches after we turn it. Now we're going to miter the bottom corners of these pockets so that we can fold down the flaps later. And then we're going to take the same Martha Stewart border punch that we used on page 1, and we're going to punch along the top of both of these pockets. I'm also mitering the top corners of the pockets, but you'll notice later that I go back and I actually remove more material because the way I mitered them still shows some of the border behind through the border in the front. So we're going to remove more material there. Now we'll go ahead and fold down and crease all of the flaps and then put sticky tape on all of the flaps on both pieces. Here's where I ended up cutting out more of that flap because you can totally see it through the border punch in front, and we don't want that showing up in the final presentation. Next, I'm going to pull up slightly the tape backing on the two side pieces on both pockets so that I can attach the bottom flap into the tape on the side flaps. This helps the insert from not sticking onto the bottom flap when we're pulling it in and out. It also makes the pocket a lot easier to attach because you've done most of the work beforehand. Now I'm going to dry fit the bigger pocket onto my base page, making sure that it fits, and it does, so I will remove all of the sticky tape backing from all 3 sides and add some art glitter glue all over the tape just to make sure that if I do put it down in the wrong spot, I can quickly pick it back up and move it, because we don't want to get the pocket stuck down in the right spot and then have to start all over because we already did a whole side of this page. I'm going to take my ruler and stick it down into the pocket and move it out toward both edges. This ensures that the tape is really well stuck down, and it actually opens up the pocket a little bit so that all of our inserts will fit. I'm going to repeat this process with the smaller pocket, just placing it again at the bottom of the page right on top of the larger pocket. Now I've got a piece of pattern paper that's cut down to 4 3/4 inches wide, and it's about 7.5 inches tall. But I'm actually just going to eyeball how tall the paper needs to be to fit under the border punches. It's a lot easier to eyeball it when you don't know how much material the border punch is going to take off. However, I did measure them after I was done, just in case you wanted to know what the actual measurements were. So when I've got everything in, I'll let you know what those were. but I knew that my width would need to be 4 3/4, so I did cut my page down to the correct width, and then I can just stick it in to each pocket, making sure that I can see the whole border punch through it, and then just eyeball and mark with a pen where I want to cut it. So as I glue each of these in, I just want to make sure that they're lined up from side to side. The idea here was that this page is busy enough without using multiple pattern papers, so I chose one pattern paper, and I want it to kind of look continuous. Even though they are separate pieces, we can still make it look cohesive by making sure that they're in a straight line from side to side. So these were all cut to 4 3/4 wide, and the top piece was about 4 inches long, and the other two were about 2 1/4 inches long. Now for the inserts, I have a piece of black cardstock that's cut to 7 by 4 3/4 with 2 pieces of pattern paper that are 6 3/4 by 4 1/2. Then for the smaller insert, I have a piece of black cardstock that's cut to 5 by 4 3/4 with 2 pieces of pattern paper that are cut to 4 1/2 by 4 3/4. As I've been doing for all of the inserts in this book, I'm going to corner round with my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. Now for the larger insert, I'm just going to go ahead and use some art glitter glue to glue both of these pieces of pattern paper down to the black cardstock. For the smaller insert though, I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. So I went and grabbed the ribbon from the last page, and I'm just going to cut 2 short strips of it. I'm going to try to arrange those on 2 opposite corners so that they make kind of a photo corner, so that you can just easily slip an insert or a photo behind them. I'm going to take some washi tape and stick those down so that I can flip this piece over to attach them permanently. And then I will take my ATG gun and just run some sticky tape next to where the ribbon tails go so that I can fold them back into that sticky tape and they'll be attached. I am then going to go back over those pieces with my ATG gun again, just because I want to make sure they're really secure, and I don't really trust ATG tape. This is really just to tack them down in place, and then I'm going to go over the whole thing with some art glitter glue and attach it like I normally would. Then I'm just going to use some art glitter glue to attach the other side of the insert, and we'll be done. We'll just put these into the pockets and move on to the next page. I want to thank you so much for watching this installment of the Cinnamon and Clove mini album series. Go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed making this double pocket page, and go ahead and leave me a comment if there's something that you want to see me do in this mini album. And make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.